Welcome to Daisha Breedlove Presents. Now, for those of you that are new to the show, every week I like to touch base on inspirational topics with inspirational guests who can help make your life a better one. So, my guest today is a chef who has been seen on the Food Network, and his name is B. Co, and he goes by Chef Co. So, let's meet him today and hear all about his journey as a chef and how he got to where he is today. Brandon,
Hey, how's it
what's
going?
up? Thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, now we've been friends for a couple years. I've been friends with you and your wife, Katie.
Mhm.
And we actually met through our mutual bestie, Jade. Shout out to
Shout
Jade.
out to Jade.
And you guys always had great energy. Not to mention, of course, they always had great food. So I was excited to have you on the show today to hear all about your experience as a chef and just how you got to where you are today. So let's get into it.
All right.
Let's do it. Okay, so my first question is for those who are not familiar with you, Brandon, tell us where you are from and how you got to Los Angeles.
Awesome. So I'm from California. I've lived in California most of my life,
Mm,
but I've also lived in Arizona, Texas. I was a little nomadic in my early 20s, so I lived in a lot of little different places. And when I came to California, I started to live in Woodland Hills. I was just surrounded by a lot of people who were making their dreams happen, and
mm.
that's why I stayed, and that's why I'm still here.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you realize you also had dreams. So you're like, okay, I'm in the right place.
Exactly, exactly.
I love that. Okay, so I also read in your bio that you've been cooking since the age of 5.
Yes.
That's a long time. So tell us, where did that passion stem from and how did you start cooking at the age of 5?
It's interesting. So I had this babysitter, and she was probably in her 60s, and she didn't like to have. She liked scrambled eggs, but she didn't like them too hard or too runny. So she liked the perfect soft scrambled eggs.
Mm.
And so one day she challenged me to start making them, and every day she would put a little step stool up to the stove. I'd get up there and I'd stir them, and as soon as I put them on the plate, she'd come look. If there was any brown, she'd tell me to start over. If they were too wet, she'd tell me to start over. And I have to keep doing that over and over and over till I got it right. And something about the repetition, something about possibly being able to create something and have that immediate gratification or that immediate feedback was
Mm.
really wonderful to me. So that's something that I gravitated towards a lot as a kid.
Mhm.
And there were times like, when I was in my teens, I had some friends and we were like hanging out during summer. His parents were gone, and there was no food in the house, and so they're like, we're not going to be able to eat till like 6 o'clock. And I was like, no, come on, let's look. So there were some chips, and there was only a little bit of salsa, and I thought, what if we took the chips and dipped it in the salsa and then we fried them, to
Wow.
make the sauce like kind of spread out. So it was kind of like a DIY Doritos
Yeah.
chip
But I
back
did
then.
hear that's amazing. But
Mhm.
I did hear that's how you become a chef or you get good at cooking by just trying random different things. So
Yeah.
that actually sounds really good.
And my mom, she was in real estate for a lot of my teen years, and she was doing very well, which was great. But she would come home with half of the groceries that we needed because she was just so busy all the time. And so we'd have pancakes but no syrup, peanut butter but no jelly, fish sticks but no tartar sauce. And I kind of learned how to make little sauces that would complement the dish enough that my younger brother and sister would actually eat it. So yeah.
I love that. Wow. And I do, that's funny you say that because it's funny how like different things show us as a kid what we're going to be doing in our adult life,
Right,
so you
right.
got to pay attention to the stuff that you enjoy doing. And look, you're a chef today on the
Yeah.
Food Network. So that's amazing. Okay, so my next question goes into the Food Network. Obviously, you were also on the Food Network. So tell us, how did that even happen and what that experience was like?
So it's funny. So I loved cooking as a kid. I did it more in my teens and even in my early 20s when I got out on my own and everything. And way before Instagram, it was the thing I would do at the end of the day is like cook myself a three-course meal, but not tell anybody about it, and
Mm.
just be like my little secret to myself.
Yeah.
And I
Three
was
course meal is hilarious, Brandon. I'm sorry.
when you have a bad day, you want a nice treat. And
Right.
so um, I thought I had a friend who went through culinary school, and he ended up flipping burgers at the end of it. He had this
Mm,
massive debt, and I was like, cooking's not real. But again, when I got back to California, I was living in Woodland Hills, all these people, making their dreams happen. I just randomly ran into a chef and asked for some information, and she pointed me to a couple chefs. From there, I reached out to a couple of the chefs that she sent me. The very first one, she had me do a catering event. It was a stage, which is an unpaid thing, so she
Mhm.
wanted to see how I was. I did two of those, and on the third one, she actually paid me. And I was dating somebody at the time who was in the industry, entertainment, and she knew of this new show coming out. And so
Mm.
she was able to get us onto the show.
Mhm.
And that's how I did it. And that was within 6 months of me saying, cooking can actually be something, to me going on the show.
Yeah.
And it was a very small period and a lot of validation too.
So, well, that's amazing. So, what was that experience like when you were actually like experiencing that? Were you like, I can't believe I'm really on a big channel? I'm really doing
It
this.
was very surreal. I kinda had to, like, wake up every day and, like, pinch myself. They flew us out to Canada a couple times to do some of the filming, and, got to spend some time out there, which was really wonderful, and this great experience to just be doing something that I love and something that I'm passionate about, and other
Hmm.
people saying, "Hey, this is actually good,"
Yeah.
and it was amazing feeling. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Congratulations on that. Okay. So, what would you say separates your foods from others?
I'm a big herb guy. I love herbs. So I
Mm.
put a lot of rosemary, thyme, cilantro, parsley. I get into cumin, oregano, dill, tarragon. I use a lot of different herbs for foods that you probably wouldn't normally do it with.
Hmm.
Um, I used to have this client, and she loved spaghetti, and she got bored of me making it over and over and over again. So she was like, make something different. And so I did a tarragon turkey spaghetti, and she loved it, and she, ordered that for a couple years. It was great, but I love putting something a little bit different and definitely green into the food that'll just make you go, oh, like that. What is that?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you feel like that helps like enhance the taste and
Oh,
everything.
definitely. The fresh herbs, especially, the
Yeah.
dried herbs are, okay, they're good. You're gonna get the flavor, but the fresh herbs, you're really getting a lot more, especially like the chlorophyll that's actually in the plants.
Yeah.
And you're absorbing that and you're tasting that, and I think that's what kind of takes my food from here to up here.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Like I'm getting hungry thinking about it. Okay, so I guess that kind of goes into my next question. As far as you saying you started the business originally, with a ex partner. So you guys that ended up obviously going into a different direction. So briefly tell us, what happened there and how you were able to bounce back from that experience.
Yeah, so it was kind of one of those moments where that period in that 6 month period of my life was so amazing but so terrible at the same time.
Mm,
The relationship that I was in had actually ended a week before we got called to be on the show,
wow.
and we got called to be
So
on
you
the
had to
show.
travel together.
Yeah, and part of the show too was about our relationship and us being together and everything.
Mm,
And so we kind of had to play that up a lot, and every time we took off the microphones, we're arguing and everything, and it was a really bad experience at the end. But
yeah.
at the end of everything, unfortunately, my business partner and my ex decided that she was going to take the business name for herself,
Mm,
which is kind of funny because it was called Co's Crab Creation, which is my last name.
yeah.
So she owns that, which is fine. And I had a meeting with her, and I just asked her, what would it take to get out of this? And so for, you to give me the business name and everything. And she gave me a ridiculous amount, and I ended up having a lawyer just kind of write me out of the entire thing. So
Mm.
at the end of it, with us winning the lease on the food truck, there was also about $15,000 to $20,000 that we'd have to put into the food truck just to be able to take it out the very first day.
Mm.
So at the end of it, like I said, I had my lawyer just write up I forgot what they called it, but they wrote it up to basically say that I release all responsibility of it,
Mhm.
and I just let her take it out and take it over. I followed her on social media for a little while, and I saw it out a couple times,
Just to
but
see how the business was
yeah,
going.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was never wrapped and didn't go out too many times from what I saw, and
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that it's not in her name or anything anymore.
Well, because it's your idea, you
Yeah.
know? So it's like it's hard to keep something going when it's stemming from somebody else's creativity, to keep it consistent. You can try, but
So the meal that we did on there was a crab mac and cheese. It started from a dream that I had about lobster mac and cheese.
wow.
And I had this dream for a couple weeks. And one day I just woke up and was like, I have to make it. And so I started making it. Had to make it a couple more times because I was like, "Ah, I don't like the taste, kind of messing with it." And that's around the time that the show reached out and said, Hey, do you want to do this? And at the time I didn't know, there wasn't many seafood food trucks,
Yeah.
and so I was like, I don't know if this is the best idea, but we talked to the producers and they said they were willing to run with it. And yeah, I love seafood. I've cooked seafood a lot in my life. Like,
Mm.
my mom got mad at me when I was like 13 because I cooked her like $20 per pound prawns in top ramen with
Oh,
some of her
wow.
merlot, and she was not very happy about that, but it was delicious.
Yeah. It
Oh.
sounds like it. That's so funny. Well, that's amazing because again, shout out to you bouncing back from that experience. You're still doing your thing, you're still cooking, you
and
know.
and with that too, with me walking away from it, I knew that the win wasn't just about the truck. It was
Yeah.
about the validation for me, my skills, and knowing that I have a passion for something that people like.
Yes.
And from there, every job interview that I went on, I was like, just randomly throw it in, like, "Oh, I'm the Food Network. Yeah, here's
They're
my
like, "Oh, we
episode."
want them."
And they're like, "Oh, okay, we can say we have a Food Network chef here." And I was like, "Oh, okay, great." So
Right.
got a lot of great jobs out of that.
Yes, and I feel like everything happens for a reason. It's meant to teach us or make us stronger. So again, shout out to you for that to continue moving forward. So I guess that goes into my next question moving forward. What would you say keeps you motivated every day despite the adversity that you've experienced in this business as, entrepreneur, as a husband, a family guy? Like what kind of keeps you going and able to manage everything that you do and wear the different hats?
I think that it really comes down to just trying to be better than yesterday, you
Mhm.
know, because you can't be in competition with somebody else because you don't know their upbringing, where they came from, what common knowledge they have that you don't.
Right.
All you can do is just base yourself off of yesterday.
Mhm.
And, some days I'm better than yesterday, some days I'm not. And I balance that every day by just waking up and trying to be better than the day before,
Yeah.
and with cooking, I've had a couple different careers in my life, and with cooking, I'm able to do something that I'm passionate about. So even if I go out and I work 11, 12-hour days, it's better than those 8 hours that I spent working for somebody that I didn't care. I didn't,
Or you don't like doing
or
the job, you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
And with this, I feel a lot of fulfillment. And so I just really try to strive towards my passion with every day and just try to be better than yesterday.
That's amazing.
Uh,
That is definitely amazing. That's really important. I just want to highlight that fact really quick that you got to do something that you enjoy doing. Otherwise, you will literally be wasting your years of life. Like
yeah.
you would be miserable. And I feel like when you just think about money, you can't always just think about money because, again, you'll be stuck doing something you don't like to do. But if you start doing things you love and go after what you're passionate about, and people will pick up on that, the money will then follow. So,
Yeah.
as it did, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because his food is amazing. So I'm gonna
Oh,
definitely
thank you.
attach
Thank
all
you.
his information so you guys could check it out, as well as have him explain briefly before he leaves us. The dishes that you guys could look forward to. But my next question is, as we go into 2025, obviously everybody's trying to improve themselves, and I do want to know how would you say your business has grown today versus when you first started?
I think when I first started, I thought that I had to do everything myself. I thought that I had to come up with all of these ideas myself. I thought that I had to come up with all the business plan,
Mm-hmm.
the marketing, the analysis, the sales, all that. I thought I had to do it myself. But I've learned over the last few years that there's so many governmental programs that are literally put in place for small businesses just to help them get set up correctly. And
That's yeah, that's good.
when I found that out, I started talking to a few people, and the information that they give you is golden because, you may have a friend who's in the industry or know somebody, but they'll gatekeep some of that information.
Right.
And what these programs do is they're actually just set up literally to help businesses set up correctly. So there's no gatekeeping. They tell
Mhm.
you the ins and outs, and I've been happy to share that information with colleagues and friends of mine as well too, that are in the industry because there's so much information that's kind of just out there and you don't know what's really for you and what's not.
Right.
With any industry that you're in, there's so many different outlets you can go in and
Mhm.
different avenues. And so you don't kind of know what's really for you and whatnot. But like I said, with some of these programs, they tell you exactly what you need to be a caterer, to be, at markets, to sell food in stores, jar it, all that stuff.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
Yes, for sure. And I don't think a lot of people knew about that. So that's good, And again, I will attach all of Brandon's info so you guys can reach out to him directly, or if you have any questions, you guys could reach out to him for that. But as we kind of wrap this up, because I know we're pressed for time, I did want to shed light on obviously why I brought you on the show is because this is an inspirational show, to help enhance other people's life and so other people can learn around the world. And being a high value man has been a very trendy topic recently. I would definitely consider you a high value man.
Oh, thank
You're
you so much.
spiritual, you're positive, you're very welcoming. To you, what would you say your definition is of a high value man? And what is one trait, or you could say three traits, let's say three, that you think every high value man or men who are trying to become a high value man should have?
So I have a unique perception because I grew up with my mom and four sisters.
Hmm.
So I had a lot of women in my life, and I've had a lot of female managers that have been the ones to actually push me to do better and get me to that next level.
Yeah.
I think that the things that I've seen in them that really struck out to me and values that I tried to hold on to myself. A big one is communication.
Yes.
Communicating effectively, it changes the dynamic of that conversation. Understanding when feelings need to be in it and when feelings don't need to be in it,
Hmm.
and kind of being able to redirect that conversation into something healthy and transformative.
Yeah.
That is something that is a problem in a lot of kitchens. In
Mm.
a lot of kitchens, there's a lot of egos that are thrown around. There's a lot of people who get upset about things, and they might throw pans, they might,
Wow.
slam stuff down,
Mm.
turn your oven off. I've seen it all. Um, and that's not effective communication.
Right.
But the managers that can go in and say, hey, this is what happened. This is how you can fix it. Let's work on you getting to this point.
Hmm.
That's that's the effective communication that I think that really needs to be not just in a manager, but definitely of a high value man or any high value person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Amazing. So communication is one, and what's your other two?
Oh.
What's give us two more.
Okay, okay. Honesty, I feel like is how I met my wife, of course, just
Hmm.
being completely open and honest about who you are, what
Yeah.
you want and what you're looking for, and then honest with yourself as well. I had a job that I previously was at that I was paid a lot of money. It was wonderful, but the money was wonderful, but the job wasn't great. It
Mm.
wasn't for me.
Right.
Know what you really want, honestly, because there's so many different avenues in this world for everything that if
Right.
everybody just picked what they really were after, there wouldn't be
Any confusion?
exactly, and
Yeah.
everybody would be going after that. So
So that's two.
communication,
So communication, we
honesty.
got one. Honesty is two. And what's the third one?
Ooh, um, let's go with always stick to your word. Sticking to your
So
word.
being loyal.
Mhm.
Loyal's one.
Exactly.
Reliable.
Reliable.
Yeah.
Telling somebody that you're going to be there at a certain time and actually being there at a certain time so that way, whatever else happens, you're not the problem. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And that can happen especially in cooking, but
Yes.
in every industry. Yeah.
No, being reliable and being loyal is definitely key because it's like this book I was reading
And we're
briefly.
Taurus,
You're
so.
right, and we're Tauruses, so loyalty is we're when we give our word, we're definitely gonna be there. But also, it's like when you're not reliable, people. It's literally said in the book, people disregard you and treat you like garbage. Like
Yeah.
you're literally like garbage to them because it's like your word is key. You know what I mean? So when you give somebody your word and you actually stand on it, that increases respect. People consider you reliable. And also, it also brings about future opportunities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, I know I can count on this person. I know they're going to be on time. Now, I'm going to be honest. Time is something I'm definitely working on. Anybody who knows me knows that time is one of my
As I was
that's one of
saying,
my
yeah, I
weak
looked at
points.
you and I was like, this
That
isn't supposed to
is
be like at you, but
that is one of my weak points. So this is also reminding myself, I'm gonna be there. They know I'm gonna always show up. Y'all,
yep,
if you
yep,
know me, you know
yep.
I'm gonna always show up, but
Hmm.
I might be a little late. So in 2025, listen, I'm right here with y'all. We are working on our time. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Because again, I have also missed out on opportunities because people are like, you're late. I'm sorry, you got replaced or it's not there anymore. So I'm trying to do better. 2025. I want y'all to hold me accountable.
I believe in you. I
I'm gonna
believe
be
in
on
you.
time. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so as we wrap this up, Brandon, what can we expect next from Chef Co in 2025?
Awesome. So I'm actually going to be working on some sauces, and that's going to be my next venture that I will be selling a little bit locally at first,
Nice.
but once I get it all set up and a little bit more production, we'll be going out a little bit further.
Amazing.
So,
Is this what you brought today?
yes. So this is a sauce that I came up with.
Okay. I'll
I
let you
call
introduce
it
it.
pineapple citrus kick
Ooh,
right here. And are you okay with spice?
I love spice.
Okay, good.
Let's check it out. I'm like,
There's a
wish I had
spoon.
some like wings or something to dip it in.
I know if we had a kitchen, I would have done the
No, the
whole
next.
thing.
So we're gonna bring Brandon back,
Uh-huh.
and next one we'll actually
I'll
have
be
a
doing
cooking
my
episode.
cooking.
We're gonna see how to make a dish. Okay, so let's test it out. Okay. Mm, wow,
Spicy?
it's spicy,
See,
but it doesn't hit you till the end. So
yeah.
when you first taste it, it's like a. Let me get one more. I taste the citrus. The pineapple's in here for sure,
Hmm.
and I taste the herbs that you were talking about
Yep, yep.
and the spice at the end. This is really good.
It's something I'm really passionate about when I make my sauces too
Mm.
is, you'll people be like, "Oh, I like spicy, I love spicy," and they'll try to give you like the hottest thing. And what that does is it hits you around the tongue and then doesn't allow you to get any other taste. And
Oh,
so the
wow.
flavors and stuff that I put in there is built so that you get the kick at the very end,
Yes,
so you get all the taste and flavor at the beginning.
and that's how you know he is a chef because I did not taste the spice at first and it hit me right at the end. I'm
Yeah.
like, how did you time it to where it didn't hit me until the end? No, this is really, really good.
Oh,
So
thank
what
you,
will
thank you.
people eat with this sauce?
Oh, anything like salmon would be delicious with
Yes.
that. Shrimp, especially like seafood. Pineapple salsa is really good for like seafood, especially tacos
Hmm.
over some Spanish rice, little queso cotija, a little bit more cilantro on top. Yeah, that would
Nice.
be delicious.
Amazing. Is this
I'm
mine to
actually
keep?
hungry. Get yes,
Oh,
yes,
thank you. I'm
that's for
like,
you.
I would definitely try this with some salmon or some wings or on the top, some sauce with like some
Mhm,
tacos or
mhm,
something.
mhm.
This is definitely good. Well, tell everybody, Brandon, before you leave us today, or Chef Cole, where is the best place to reach you and check out all the foods, that you got coming up and how to purchase a meal if they choose to.
Awesome. So you can reach me at It's Co's Kitchen, and that's COES, like cooking over everything. So It's Co's Kitchen. That's my Instagram and my TikTok. You can find me at coskitchen.com. And I'll have a YouTube up pretty soon too, because I hear TikTok's about to go away. So just going
Mm,
ahead and branching out to other things. And my phone number that you can go ahead and reach me if you'd like to just reach me directly, you can send me a text, is 818-514-6944.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for Brandon. Thank you so much, Chef Co. I'm so sorry. Look, I'm like, we're friends, so I'm still calling on Brandon. Chef Co, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing
Thank you for
the
having me.
dish. Thank you for also helping men around the world, shedding light on what a high value man is and how they can also start their entrepreneurship journey and also overcome the adversities that many men and just women as well, face in the world today. So next episode, you guys, we would definitely be in the kitchen cooking. I would have Brandon make a meal for you guys so you guys can see it step by step. But also, I will attach all of his information at the bottom of the screen so you guys can hit him up if you want to try an amazing dish or this amazing sauce. So that wraps it up, you guys, for Deja Breedlove Presents. And I will see you next time with another inspirational episode because 2025, we got some stuff coming for y'all. So tune in. Bye.